What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Tuesday Track Talk podcast, episode number 65, one final donut for 2024 here as we wrap this wonderful year up. So we got another doozy of an episode on dock for you today. We got a little bit of a Mount Rushmore episode, just going through some different series and discussing who we have on our Mount Rushmore for some different series. So, as always, I'm sure it's going to be interesting, comical, and debatable, but that's what we do. So, before we get into it, though, we took last week off, had a little bit of Christmas and some Christmas celebration. So, um, checking in with you fellas. Did you guys get coal or how did we do for Christmas?
Oh, we did all right.
Oh, we did good this year.
We did
Although I may
really.
have pissed my sister off because I got her a gift card container and I ziplocked the sucker shut this year. So
That's funny.
I may be expecting something coming up.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of the hit on Twitter is the racing map.
Yep.
Yep, those are the hit. We got the cutout state of Wisconsin with the little insertable checkered flags. That was good. It's over my shoulder. I got a little like 6-can mini fridge for the race room here.
Yep.
Uh, so
I
no,
I got a big NASCAR one here over my right next to me on the left side here.
yep,
Um, I don't know. Yep. So a coworker got me this Blaney Drive sign.
that's cool.
Um, well, there's a lot of clothes, a lot of racing clothes. That was about it.
Nice. Yeah, good. Good to spend time with family and
Yep.
friends, and just kind of hang out and time away from work and just kind of recharged.
Oh, hello there.
The weekly appearance of the cat.
Yeah. Um,
I
yeah,
know.
no. Feels like a while since we were last on here. But yeah, Christmas is always a fun time of year, and um, you guys can finish off the last day of 2024 with this beautiful episode. So, um, well, without further ado, we can get into some of this episode here and had a little bit of a again, we've been on a little bit of a dry spell here with some racing. I did pick up a little bit with high limit there over in, is it Australia at Perth?
Yep.
Yep.
So that was, had that going on this past weekend. Always a little bit odd to wake up. I don't know the exact time difference there, but it was a little bit odd to wake up at like 10 o'clock and see either highlights or, whatever the time difference was there. Um, but
I think it was if it's 7 o'clock here, it's 9 at night over there.
7 a.m. here.
7 a.m. here, 9 o'clock at night over there.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know if we want to touch on that briefly or get right into our weekly segment there. I know old Hung Money cashed a big payday over there.
Yep. Cool
Wonder what
100 grand.
wonder if that
Yeah.
is paid in Australian dollars or US dollars, and what, if so, what the currency exchange rate is.
Well, the big thing out of that too is that, and they mentioned this when Kyle Larson was in Victory Lane. I didn't watch any of the race just because of the time difference and everything like that, but I just saw highlights from High Limit or something like that. But
Yep.
one of the drivers actually gave up their ride that weekend for Larson to hop in, and Larson begs you 100,000. I'm sure he's going to kick a little bit of that money your way as well as a hey, thanks for letting me hop in your ride this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. And the other kind of storyline of the weekend is James McFadden giving the boys the old ass whoop in the first two nights.
Yep.
So, and it's good to see. We'll mention it here in a brief minute that he has a part-time ride here in the States, but um cool to see him start guns blazing. I guess start the season guns blazing, end the season, however you want to say it.
Dude, just do good at home.
Yeah, that he looked really good. So that was cool to see. We got to meet him in person. Super down to earth, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So that was cool to see.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Old Hung Money cash that big check, but it wasn't on Friday night. Wasn't he leading it and he banged tried to take the wall down from the lead?
Saturday, second race.
Yep.
Second
Got
race,
it.
he did that. Yep. But you are correct. Yep. In the lead, hit the wall. I think he broke something in the right rear suspension for that car to
Yeah, he
pull
grabbed a
in.
hold of that wall there pretty good there.
Yep.
So yeah, it
Of
was
note of that too, McFadden finished second in that race, in the finale race. So
Yep.
a 1-1 and a 2 on the weekend is not too shabby.
Yep.
yeah. So that was I'll be interested to see, what some of the high limit guys say about that whole experience. And if this is something we're going to look to keep doing in the future. But overall, from the first couple things I read, sounds like it went as good as expected. Fan turnout was awesome
Mm-hmm.
and um, showed up. So I don't
No,
know.
no weather issues either.
Yep.
So for a big deal like this, for guys to fly across the globe, literally to race, which something you can have wrecked by weather by no one of anyone's doing. Good to see that those programs went uninterrupted from Mother Nature.
Yep.
And just to touch on, didn't get got interrupted by didn't get interrupted by Mother Nature, but we did get interrupted by an injury there. One of the high limit guys there, Rico Abreu, who was expected to run that race. I think if you guys correct me if I'm wrong, was a wrist injury
Yep.
that
Yeah.
is going to need some surgery. So unfortunate deal there for him.
Yeah.
Another note with this being at a high limit event, I think, and I don't remember what it was last year, but I think this opened up the opportunity for this to be broadcasted on a lot bigger scale and a little bit more recognizable scale stateside.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
With it just having the high limit tag on there and being on flow and
Yep.
just with the guys that were over there, I think it opened that opportunity up for it to be a lot more noticeable and watched at that rate too. So
Absolutely. Positives all around though, from what we've read and seen.
yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So sorry, a little bit of a side tangent there. Um, a little unexpected race recap. But before we get into um, the mountains for today's topic, let's get into, um, as we always do, our beep bopping around segment here with random news and random facts from around the racing world over the last week. So I'll kick it to one of you Stones, and let's get rocking and rolling on some news and updates in the racing world.
I'll take the
Kellen,
first. I'll take the
I'll let-
first two.
Yep. And I'll take the following two.
Yep. So,
Take the two after that, then.
nope. So, a little bit of ARCA news. Isabella Robusto will run the full ARCA schedule for Venturini Motorsports. So, taking a step up, she'd done a little racing on the Cars Tour side of things.
Mhm.
So she'll be taking a jump. She'll be going ARCA racing full time for Venturini. So, step up. Here's another one we've kind of been waiting for the news. Kind of twofold surprise. Chandler Smith joins Front Row Motorsports with their truck program. They will be expanding to a two truck organization next year rather than just one with Lane Riggs. So, cool deal there. Lands on his feet, but Front Row has an opportunity to bring in a good driver and expand their truck program. So they will field two trucks for 2025.
A notable Toyota to Ford switch there.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
more driver news as drivers hopping into rides. The Formula One roster has been fulfilled now with Liam Lawson joining the Red Bull Formula One team to be the second driver with Max Verstappen. So all the rides in Formula One have now been filled and are ready to go for next year.
Nice.
This one's always a touchy subject and maybe hinted on here a little bit. More NASCAR injunction stuff. So there was originally 2311 and Front Row Motorsports were initially granted the injunction on as far as being able to run as a charter team and get the benefits of the charter in 2025. And NASCAR has since appealed that decision. I have not seen any results of it yet. I think just with the holidays, that has kind of been set to the side. But with that appeal, that still puts on hold the SHR charter transfers to said teams. So you're kind of getting a third team involved in this whole mess, we'll call it.
Yeah, SHR is kind of catching a few strays here, I guess I
Yeah.
would say it that way. Like they're just caught up in the middle of the shit when they were looking to just get rid of their stuff. Like,
Yep.
you
And the big
know,
thing
and
with that is
uh,
with I was gonna say with them technically having the charter still, part of the agreement is that they have to field a car in a team, and they don't have the resources and the people to field a car in a team. So
correct.
this is why they're kind of really anxious on this as well.
Yeah. You know, it's the shit changes every single day.
Yep.
Yeah, to be honest, that's getting hard to follow, and it's getting a little bit annoying, to be honest.
Then
Um,
you always need somebody to translate the law terms to layman's terms for us race
Thank
fans.
God for Bob Pockris and Matt Weaver.
I was gonna say, let's shout out two of the best in the reporting business, because instead of me spending an hour and 45 minutes trying to comprehend some of that big law jargon, search Bob or Matt, and we can get it broken down into the Stones version.
Jeff does good as well. Jeff Gluck. Gotta give him a shout as well. He does good.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, I'll get in here next. Big news here with High Limit there. Casey Cocaine is running the High Limit Series in 2025. Um, again, um, I'd say that's pretty much expected when one of your drivers, owns the series. So, um, not surprising, but the announcement makes it official, and um, he'll be at a B main near you soon. So, um,
Christ.
If I remember right, I know Sweet's got a new crew chief. I just don't remember
Yeah.
if Kane had a new crew chief.
That I don't remember.
I think he had the same crew chief, but you got to remember that Brad Sweet's old crew chief is the competition director now, so oversees a little bit of Kane's program as well.
Correct.
So,
Kind of ish. Yeah.
yep. So,
Indirectly, Kane is going to reap the benefits of moving him out of Sweets.
yep.
Chiefy.
So, yep. So, stay tuned.
Yep.
maybe he won't be coming to a B main near you. Um, we'll see if a crew chief can fix that. But coming up next here, we are. It is officially winter, but we are coming up on the Chili Bowl. And Cruz Pedregon Racing is entering the Chili Bowl. So, the names and lists for the old Chili Bowl here have ramped up, and it's going to be another doozy of a week of racing. So, um, it's looking to be a lot of fun, and looking forward to the old bowl.
They said that they had officially an entry for every day of the year, so they're at least at 365 total entries.
Yep.
Not too shabby.
So,
Talk about car counts.
yep.
Larson, Kyle Larson kind of teased a little bit of Cam's mention 2 weeks ago of the High Limit World Outlaw merger. So, he had kind of talked about it a little bit. We had kind of had a little conversation amongst ourselves of what the positives and negatives of that could be. But he didn't say it's going to happen, but he certainly did not say it will absolutely never happen. We'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
So, speaking of high limit, another driver announcement. Brent Marks is back with the series in 2025. Going to be year number 2 for him.
Um, I think I'll just hammer out these last three, if that's all right with you, Cam.
Go for it.
Ryan Timms will join Liebig Motorsports for an 85 race schedule. Haven't determined what the series is, but so it could be a possible true outlaw there. He comes up from the midget series, so this will definitely be a step up for him. Ran a few sprint car races towards the end of the year last year, but this will be his first full-time season in a 410 sprint car. Um, James McFadden, talked about him earlier, and Tanner Holmes find homes at Tarleton Racing for 2025, which means McFadden will be racing in the States. Schedule undetermined for him, but Holmes will also get 30 races on that team for next year as well. So part-time schedule for him. Final one here. I think this is kind of a great follow-up for the whole Gibbs letting the guys have at it as far as racing goes. Christopher Bell will team up with Kreitz Racing for a partial 410 sprint car schedule. He is for sure racing Volusia and Vegas. And that Vegas one, I believe, is a high limit race.
Yeah, I saw a tweet on today on Twitter is the old World of Outlaws team went into the transfer portal and got one.
It's a good way to put it. So, yeah, so keep an eye out for that. It's good. Chris Frill in a dirt car is always a good sight to see.
Yep. Yep. He'll be
And when
solid.
Larson said that he's been one of his stiffest competitions, especially on the midget car side of things, you know you got a
Yep.
good one coming. So,
Yep, for sure. It kind of wraps up the news for the week.
yeah.
Yeah. There's one other news point that I was gonna chime in and add, but I am. Let me just check the old bookmarks quick.
I know Dale Jr.'s got a new paint scheme for the Bass Pro
Cordell.
next year. Yep.
Yep. The white. I like the white. I dig that.
Waiting for the die cast on that one. I will say
Oh yeah.
that.
Yep.
Which shout out to the boss man. Got me a gift certificate for Lionel Racing. That'll get used very quickly.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have nothing.
Yeah, I forget my last what I was gonna chime in there and say. Um, so anyways, let's move
Yep.
along. So let's get into the main event for tonight. The reason we're all here for this final episode of 2024, we're taking a little vacation to Mount Rushmore, all three of us, and left it kind of open-ended for each of us, but when we leave it kind of open-ended, we typically trend down the same path. And so each one of us is going to have a little bit different Mount Rushmore, but we're all going to have, generally speaking, three. And those three different series, might be three different series, 9 total different series. I doubt that's the case, but it's going to be interesting. And as I stated earlier in the episode, this is probably going to be debatable. So, looking forward to getting a little bit rammy here on this episode and sparking a little bit of debate. So, if I remember right here, Big Brain Tire Changers going first.
Yep. Are we good to share?
Yep.
Okay, so I will get this launched and then we'll click on the little share button here. All right. Of note, one, Photoshop is very spotty. So let's just start with that. Obviously,
Okay.
these are my own opinions. And I did kind of go off script as far as the series side of things go. And I'll explain to that. I'll kind of dive into that more as we hit the topics.
Oh boy,
So
this ought to be good.
All right. So first two are going to be pretty, we'll call it straightforward. Nothing too extravagant with it. So first one, and Kellen, I feel like you might see this one coming.
Yep.
Greatest short track racers of all time.
Oh, okay, you're in short track. All right, well, let me get my notepad out. I'm gonna mark down. I'll tell you how many drivers we have the same. All right, go
All
ahead.
right. All right. So I feel like if we're going to have the same driver here, I feel like this first one's going to be picking the low hanging fruit here. Dick Trickle.
Okay.
I mean, when you get over 1,200 feature wins, 67 wins in 1972 alone, 7-time Art Gold champ, 2-time ASA national champ, winner of the World Series of Asphalt, Oktoberfest, Cracker 200, which is an actual race
Yep.
based on an event that happened over the weekend.
Yep.
That at Smyrna, the World Crown 300, and the Redbud 400. I mean, there's not a whole hell of a lot else that he hadn't done.
Yep.
So when you get guys like Rusty Wallace and Kenny Wallace and Bobby Allison and Earnhardt even came up, and when they came up to race the best and you raced against Trickle, you learned something.
Yep.
So just an overall pure racer. I know this isn't short track related, but always got to bring up that he was the youngest rookie or the oldest rookie of the year in NASCAR as well. So I always just love to bring that up when it's talked about him. So, yep, Dick Trickle obviously has to be on the Mount Rushmore. Next one up here, Mark the Kid Martin, four-time.
Recently a big winner of an
Yep,
award. So
yep. Four-time ASA champion, 22-time winner with the ASA series, Slinger Nationals champ, and then it also comes down to one of the most innovative and smartest driver on setting up a late model ever. Obviously, he was very iconic with not having a left rear spring, I believe is what he didn't have.
Correct.
So obviously very iconic when it comes to setting up a race car. It definitely helped rejuvenate his career after his first NASCAR stint, running the short
Yep.
tracks with some of the best there is. So I had to throw him in there. Next one up, and Kellen, this one's going to probably be one that's unfamiliar with you. You've heard the name, but you don't know the man. Gary Ballou, that 112 race car. Two-time All-American 400 winner, two-time Snowball Derby winner, World Crown 300 winner, and also a winner of over 1,000 features in his lifetime as well. Had a little NASCAR stint, but definitely dominated the South when it came to short track. Basically, what Dick Trickle was to the Midwest, Gary Ballou was to the South.
Yep.
Good way to put it. Last one on here, and this is probably the most recent addition, I would say, to this list, Ty Majeski. Two-time Snowball Derby champ, 5-time Midwest Tour champ, 2023 ASA National champ after the rejuvenation of that series, 4-time Oktoberfest winner, and 3-time Slinger Nationals winner. Another guy that when you come in, when you pull into a place and he pulls in, you're going to be in for a world of hurt.
Yep.
So
Okay.
that is what I got for greatest short track racers of all time.
So that's short track. All right.
Yep.
I like how you went short track. I appreciate that.
Yep. So this is where I kind of get off script as far as series, type of racing, stuff like that. Greatest race cars of all time.
Okay.
So first one, and I love this race car. I've mentioned it before. I think we've all loved the time that we had with this race car. The old Twisted Sister, the 2006, 2007 Cup car. Obviously, just one of the most badass race cars to ever run. The high horsepower, the super aerodynamics, just probably one of the best performing NASCAR Cup cars that we've ever had.
Pulling side skirts out.
Yep. Yep. So just one of my favorite race cars ever. So
Okay.
this is probably getting more into my favorite race cars than it is anything else, but nonetheless. Next one up, another iconic one when it comes to the road racing side of things, that yellow Corvette.
All right.
I mean, it's been around for a long time. It's always been that yellow. Earnhardt's have drove it. The Taylors have drove it. Um, Obviously, it's a very identifiable car. It's raced in the 24 hours of Le Mans, Daytona, runs the full-time IMSA series schedule. Just an iconic race car. It's been around for years.
Yep.
So, one of my favorites. I mentioned the driver of this car earlier, and I talked about the setup of this car earlier. Well, here's the actual car of it, that prototype car that Mark Martin drove. He was one of those when you got him in that car with and that setup that he had. I mean, he was just unbeatable. So it's just the prototype car has always been one of my favorite short track cars out
I'm gonna
there.
say I'm pretty sure you put that paint scheme. Let's go way back here, about a year ago on our top 10 paint schemes. You put a car like that on the paint scheme episode,
I
correct?
sure did.
I want
I
to say it
sure
might have
did.
even been Mark Martin.
It was. Yep. Because I just love the prototype car. Yep. Big brains coming into play. Attaboy. Attaboy.
Hell yeah.
So, last one here kind of stems off of a movie the past handful of years, and really kind of probably helped launch the American sports car racing side of things. The Ford GT, the old school Ford GT. Obviously, got iconic with the Ford versus Ferrari movie, raced at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, has won the Rolex 24 Hours Daytona as well. And like I said, probably one of the cars that really helped jump America into the sports car racing scene worldwide. So, it's another one of my favorite cars.
Okay. Yep. All
So
right.
that's what I got for greatest race cars of all time. Now, this is one that I teased in the group chat earlier. It's kind of more of my sarcastic, opinionated gripe section here, and is the last section, I should also say.
Okay.
Greatest racing rivalries today, and I use that term lightly. This is kind of going all different directions here. So, buckle up.
Rivalries. Oh boy. Okay. Yep. I'm
Buckle
ready.
up. First one. Sunday Championship NASCAR weekend versus Football Night in America.
So Sunday night football versus Cup Series championship race.
It never fails. They always rush the interviews for the top four championship drivers. They quickly show championship presentation, and then they cut to pre-show, pre-game football coverage for a middle of the week football game.
Middle of the
Never
road,
fails.
usually subpar game too. On top of
Yes. Yes. And they're always button heads with each other because they're on the same network of NBC. So that's a rivalry that just irks me.
I can get behind that.
This next one, I was thinking about this on the way come from home from work today. I probably could have labeled this differently, but when I tell you what the connection is, you're gonna get it. So I use Ty Majeski and Casey Roderick as the representation, but the idea of it is Midwest versus the South.
Yep.
Yep. I could have maybe used Midwest Tour versus Southern Super Series or ASA National Tour. If I really wanted to dig that hole. But the Midwest versus the South. The 2 barrel versus the 4 barrel. Obviously, we just
Yep.
discussed the rules book between the ASA and the Midwest Tour. So it's just the Midwest versus the South. And when you get the Midwest guys racing down South or vice versa, that's always one of the stories. The Midwest versus the South.
Yep.
So this next one here, we mentioned it a little bit here in our news segment as far as uh, lawsuits go, but this also expands a little bit. Denny Hamlin versus NASCAR. Whether it's lawsuits, whether it's him just pissing drivers off, making, just obscene or out of the blue comments, it's just Hamlin versus anything in NASCAR is just.
Dude, and
That's
I love Denny too because he always records the podcast right after a Sunday race where he hasn't had time to digest it, and he usually comes off hot and heavy and heated
Yep.
and and get opens his big mouth and usually has a pretty good point, but
Yep.
love stirring the pot.
So Denny Hamlin versus just NASCAR as an entirety. However you want to twist it, that's what I got. Last one here, and again, this is one that we've touched on here already. I think it's a good rivalry in a way. World Outlaw Sprint Cars versus High Limit.
The Woo versus the Posse.
The Woo versus the Posse, as some would say. Yep. So just there's obviously the talks about a possible merger. I've said that if the World Outlaws would levy up or lift up on their limits as far as what they can race on the outside of the series, I think that would be a very healthy competition to have.
Yep.
So
I would agree.
And that'd probably be my most legit rivalry that I have on this list, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, fair, that's fair enough. I can respect that.
So with that, those are my Mount Rushmores. That's all I've got for you.
Okay.
So
I suppose I'm up, huh? So
unless
I
Cam
was
wanted
gonna
to go second.
Oh, Cam's gonna go second. I'll tell you before I start. 2 of your 4 drivers were the same.
Okay.
I'll let you think on it. 2 of the 4 were the
Well,
same.
I know one of them.
Yeah.
One of them, like I said, the low hanging fruit. I think we're both in agreement with that one. I'm up in the air on the second one, and just because you said something that I appreciate it, we'll come back
Yep.
to it. So
sorry, I'm getting one last image in here for you.
Yep. Nope. Fair enough. I figured this would kind of stir the brain bank a little bit as far as
Yeah,
things
I
what
can
we could
appreciate
discuss.
you going the other way with that because I'm gonna list you 20 drivers. Is what's gonna happen.
Sure. And that's what I was kind of thinking about. I'm like, are we gonna have the same drivers and stuff like that? And I'm like, I wonder if I could think of something else.
Good Lord.
And I think so. Like, I saw a picture of or no, it was a video of Jimmy Johnson and Tony Stewart racing at Atlanta in 2007. I'm like, ooh,
Yep.
I love that race car. Ooh, greatest race cars. Bam, there's a topic.
Yep.
And then I'm like, and then I forget which one I saw. Maybe it was the High Limit and World of Outlaws one. I'm like, rivalry, they kind of butt heads. I wonder if I could do something with that. So,
All
Yep.
right. Let's
you
pull some
ready?
stuff out here. Cat's trying to drink my water. Yeah, I am about ready to get in here. What? You wanna?
Appearance number 2.
Yeah, no kidding.
We've got
All
both of
right.
our appearances of cats today.
Yep.
She's
All right.
so high maintenance. All right, let me get in here and get a little share screen action going. Screen slideshow. All right, so I went Mount Rushmore, and as we're a little bit debating here before we hopped on and pressed record, um, I went series and then drivers. So um, nice tail there, Kel. Um, so I went series here. I went NASCAR. I went
Cats are absolute menaces today.
What?
sniffing around there.
Come
I went NASCAR. I went asphalt super late models, and then I went dirt super late models.
Okay.
So let's just get right in here. So NASCAR here. This was kind of surprising. Um, I thought as I was getting into it here that I was um, gonna put a little bit more serious guys on here or a little bit newer guys, but then I started doing a little bit of research. I'm like, gotta pay tribute to the OGs, the legends of the sport.
I'm curious
Um,
on the 3 here.
oh no, Richie, wrong series.
So you meant to change that one. Got it.
Oh boy.
Oh, we're in shambles here as we speak.
All right, let's get it together.
Yep.
Well, number three, obviously that's a prelude here to what's coming next. But 3 is not supposed to be Richie Pickle. 3 is supposed to be, I was going to put Jeff Gordon in there.
Good. I'll make that note. Okay. All right.
Again, and I feel like, the Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, those were like earlier, for these guys, obviously I wasn't young enough to see Petty and Earnhardt race, but obviously know the legends and what they've done for our sport. Then when I was real young, was able to, well, not real young, but in my earlier days, supposed to be Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson in there. 2 legends of the sport there that I can remember watching myself. So that's my NASCAR Mount Rushmore.
All right. Pretty respectful.
Then
respect that.
You guys already saw probably 2 for the next one here.
And Bickle made it twice. Wow.
Yeah. Attaboy.
Yeah, Bickle's on there. He's on there twice. So you can see my Mount Rushmore here. Again, Bickle made it here. Got Dick Trickle again, somebody that I haven't seen obviously race, but again, just a legend of the sport, and got a little bit of overlap there. So didn't even had this one done before Van Gogh presented. So a little bit of overlap there, but 4, as you can see there, it's just Kraus. We got Mark and Derek up there. So
all right.
Fair enough.
I could respect Richie. I thought about him, and then I was kind of
okay.
doing
Don't
my
even come on this
research and-
podcast and disrespect Kraus. Either one of them, Mark or Derek.
What do you mean disrespect him?
I didn't say nothing.
Well, you said you can respect Bickle, which means what are you going to say about the rest of them?
No, I said I can respect that.
Yeah, I can respect them all as well.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of hinting at the fact that I was thinking about Bickle and I just did not put on my list. So I'm glad that you did.
Oh, I thought you said I can respect Bickle, and I thought there was a long pause that was going to
No. Nope.
prelude
You
to.
jumped the gun there, guy.
Yeah, don't get so defensive.
Yeah, getting hostile over here.
Oh yeah. I'm just out here fighting for Kraus. Mark and Derek, put some respect on their names. But no. And then I put number 1, Ty Majeski. Obviously, love letting Van Gogh go first because he can hit all the statistics that I don't know, and then I can say, yeah, I don't have to repeat all those stats that Van Gogh said. But no, like you said, Majeski he's one of a kind and a super late model. And anytime he comes to the track, people are probably saying, "Damn it." He's gonna be there at the end, and you're probably gonna have to go through him to win the race. So always a contender, one of the best to do it. So and then lastly, I should have Dirt. So this one I had a little bit of fun with. And I kind of went 2 or 3 recent, and then one that was a little bit before me. So obviously I got Brandon Shepard and Jonathan Davenport on there, 2 faces of the sport right now. Both have went on their tears of dominance and continue to be at the top of their game and a threat to win wherever they show up. So I got 2 guys that I've thoroughly enjoyed since getting into being able to watch. Again, everywhere I could turn, everywhere I could look or research, Billy Moyer came up. So again, not somebody that I have a ton of experience watching, but a legend of the sport. And then number one, had to throw this one on there. Old bloomer. Scott Bloomquist, and you just got to throw him up there for who he was and what he did for the sport. Did it his way. A little bit of moxie, not always the most dominant, but always did it his way, and just a
Brash.
legend of the sport.
Mhm.
Yep, brash. He did it his way, and he didn't give a shit if you liked it or not.
Nope. And so, those are the 3 series and the Mount Rushmores I got there. Again, I was the most in depth with my racing knowledge, but enjoy having
I
a
always
little bit of fun
forget.
with them.
I always forget how good Billy Moyer was,
Yeah, Billy Moyer won a lot of goddamn races.
and raced for a long time at that.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, that's what I got. Damn it, dude. Every time I go through this stuff, presentations never go exactly as planned.
Proofread. You got to proofread.
Yeah, no shit.
Give the old one too.
All right.
Last one here.
Yep.
Dude, and this guy always shows up with the communications 459 capstone class presentation.
No, I don't know about this time. I got my notes here.
Oh Jesus!
Gotta
Jeez.
flip that one around. We got some notes on the back there.
My goodness, dude,
All right.
you
So
did some research here.
I did because I couldn't decide on a couple, so I just said I'll do both of them. I feel like this first one is going to catch you guys a little bit by surprise. Winning sprint cars. I mean, I did this pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Sammy Swindell, Brad Sweet, Donnie Schatz, and Steve Kinzer. A couple notable things. Sammy Swindell, 3 World of Outlaw titles, 300 wins. And he's currently second in World of Outlaw career wins. 5-time Chili Bowl winner. A few other notable things he had done: 10 Xfinity races, 20 truck races. And in those 20 truck races, he had 5 top 10s. And also made an attempt at qualifying for the Daytona or the Indy 500, but did not. So he made an Indy 500 attempt. I feel like Brad Sweet, we've kind of just hammered on him of late. 5 straight World of Outlaw titles, 80 wins, high limit title. He is the Silver Dollar Speedway promoter.
Really?
He has a lot to do with their operations in
right.
Chico, California. And he also has had short stints in the Truck Series and Xfinity Series. So we'll learn a little bit about him. Donnie Schatz, 10 World of Outlaw titles, 316 World of Outlaw wins, 11 Knoxville Nationals, 6 Kings Royals, and 6 National Open titles. So the win tally alone puts him on Mount Rushmore. And then on your far right, the King, Steve Kinzer, 690 wins and 20 World of Outlaw titles. It's pretty straightforward. He is the World of Outlaw win record holder.
Probably will be.
Forever and ever. Amen.
Yep.
So that is my first number of 4.
I can respect that.
This is where the crossover starts to happen. And I have one of my next 4 in here that I think you guys are going to go, wait a second. The Cup Series.
Ooh.
So 3 of the 4 are familiar names in Dale Sr., Jeff Gordon, and Jimmy Johnson, right?
Yep.
Jeff Gordon, let's start with Dale Sr. 7-time champ, 76 wins, 26 poles, led more than 25,000 laps. He made more than 40 million in earnings. I think that's a very interesting thing to note. He won basically all the crown jewels: the Brickyard, the Southern 500, the Coke 600, the Winston 500, and the Daytona. So, he also won the Daytona as a car owner. So,
Yep.
Dale Sr. Gordon, 93 wins. He's third all time, 477 top tens. Extensive dirt background. 1991 Silver Crown champ, 1992 USAC midget champ, and then back to NASCAR. 3-time Daytona, 5-time Brickyard, 6-time Southern 500, 3-time Coke 600, 3-time All-Star Race winner, 2-time Clash winner, and he led 24,936 laps in the Cup Series.
If I remember right, too, I thought he also had the most consecutive starts
Very well
by
could
any
be.
driver, because I think he beat Ricky Rudd to do that.
Very well could be. And then obviously we as kids watched the Lowe's 48 dominate every single thing on planet Earth.
That's a good way to put it.
7-time champ, 83 career wins, 2 Southern 500, 2 Daytona 500. Jimmy Johnson won the 2010 Prelude to the Dream, as we were talking about it. So when you have to list the number of wins at a racetrack, that's when you know you've done something special. 11 wins at Dover, 9 at Martinsville, 8 at Charlotte, 7 at Texas. So they
He loved Dover.
don't even list the races titles. They just go,
Yep.
you won this many races at that track. He won 6 off-road racing championships. He was the 2009 Associated Press Male of the Year, 5-time Driver of the Year, 2022 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year. He ran 600 to date. Got to remember, still active to date.
Mhm.
He's run 698 races over 22 years, leading 18,941 laps. And he is also in the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Probably the only active driver in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. To date, he is in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So there's
Yep.
your 4. Kyle Larson. Let's go back to him. That's probably
Yeah,
the one.
you got some explaining to do here.
Yep.
So I'm doing a little forecasting. So when I look at like what he could do with a race car, I just felt like he couldn't be not on a list somewhere. You know, you could have made a category and said the greatest wheelmen of all time. You could put him in that category.
I can go for that.
I didn't know where to put him. So you guys are probably going to torch me when I say I left Petty off to put Larson on there. I know he is a Cup Series champ. He's a 3-time All-Star race winner. He's a Brickyard winner. He's a Southern 500 winner. He's won the Rolex 24 Hours. He's back-to-back Chili Bowl champ in 20 and 21. He's SB's Best Driver of the Year award winner. 2024 Indy 500 Rookie of the Year. On top of that, he's won the Prairie Dirt Classic, the BC 39, the Kings Royal, 4-time Turkey Neck Grand Prix winner, outside of the Cup Series. So when you look at his NASCAR career, 365 races, 29 wins, 182 top tens, and 2,500 laps led. So
I think the argument you can make for Larson too, if compared to Petty, is Larson is racing against a lot stiffer competition than what Petty did.
That's fair.
That's an argument I can agree with.
Yeah, that's fair. So he had to be in the list somewhere, I don't know. So that's where I didn't know where to put him, so I put him in here. So
All right.
Take that for what it's worth. Next
Be
group.
interesting.
Go ahead.
It'd be interesting to just look at like across the board those 4 guys, a specific time frame in each one of their career, given, from year 4 to 14 in the Cup Series and see
Their
what
primes almost.
Yeah. And see what they do across that compare them across that 10-year span or whatever. That'd be interesting to see.
That would actually be really interesting.
That'd be wild. All right. Next grouping of 4. So this is my Legends of Dirt Late Model Racing category. Bloomquist, Jimmy Mars, Red Farmer has more of a asphalt's history, but of late has run on the dirt in the super late model, and then Davenport obviously finds himself in there. Bloomer, 9 national titles. He's the all-time Lucas Oil wins leader with 94, including 3 titles, 8-time Dream winner, 4-time World 100 winner. He is a World of Outlaws champion. He's a 3-time Dirt Car Summer Nationals champ. He is in the Hall of Fame in 2002, and most notably known for owning Team Zero race cars. So not only as a driver, but as a chassis builder, had a pretty significant impact on the dirt late model scene. When you're looking down the road, Jimmy Mars, kind of in this same boat a little bit. 2018 Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer, so also was an active driver as a Hall of Famer. He's a 1997 Dream winner. He has 3 career Lucas Oil wins, 7 career Dirt Car Summer National wins, 8 World of Outlaw wins. He's a 2-time Topless 100 winner, 2-time USA National winner. He's a 2009 Dirt Track World Championship winner, a Lion Eye 100 winner, Firecracker 2 times, Prairie Dirt Classic twice, along with the National 100. So when you talk about a list of high-paying crown jewels on the dirt late model side, Jimmy won a ton of those. Red Farmer, a little bit more ambiguous on the statistics side of things. When I was doing my research on this, it was said that his career victories are believed to be over 700. So not an exact number. He raced into his 90s, most notably late in his career on dirt short tracks in the South. Other things that he had accomplished: 4-time NASCAR most popular driver, 3 consecutive late model sportsman titles in his 4 titles, and then he is a 2021 NASCAR Hall of Famer.
Part of the Alabama gang.
Yep. And then JD. So I will, spoiler, I'm going to touch on him in a moment.
All right.
So here's my current active dirt late model Mount Rushmore. Brandon Shepard, Bobby Pierce, RTJ, and JD. Brandon Shepard, where do we even begin with this list of bullet points? 5-time World of Outlaw champ. He is also a World of Outlaw Series feature win leader. 5-time dirt track winner, 2020. He's 2020 Winter Nationals champ, 2-time Dirt Car National champ, 2-time Wild West Shootout champ. He's a Dream winner, Silver Dollar winner, World Finals winner, Prairie Dirt Classic winner, Illini 100 winner, USA National winner. The list goes on and on. So this is actually kind of crazy to think about this. He was, in 2008, he was the Northern All-Stars Rookie of the Year at 15 years old. And in 2011, he was the Northern All-Stars Series champ at the age of 18. So he is also a 9-time Psychobilly Cadillac Best Appearing Car Award winner. So
What a name.
Dude, come on.
that's, I'm serious. Look it up. It's a real thing. Look it up on Facebook. Psychobilly Cadillacs. It's like a tour thing he does. Look it up. But yeah, he's 9-time Best Appearing Car Award winner.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he keeps it rolling. But that B5 Longhorn house car that he had the last couple of years, it didn't matter what he stuck on it or whoever did it. That thing was always just one of the best looking cars. Yeah, slick. Little that blue true timber, little camo in there, little hunting orange. Yeah, just even the Dude Wipes car, just sweet.
Yep.
Anyways, sorry.
All right. 2, Bobby Pierce, 2023 World of Outlaw champ, 2-time World 100 winner, PDC winner, North South winner, Slocum 50 or Slocum 50, he's won 4 times. 2017 Gateway Dirt National Champ, 5-time Hell Tour Champ. And interesting about him, he also had a little stint in the Truck Series where he ran 8 races in 2 different numbers, including a top 5, a pole, and led 141 laps. In that stint of races that he ran, he was at Charlotte, Dover, Eldora, Kansas, Martinsville, and Phoenix. It was the 36 and the 63 that he drove.
Time out, dude. While we're on trucks, and dirt, you want to talk about a sneakily good truck NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series dirt racer? None other than Kraus. Man was a certified wheelman when you took that truck to a dirt track. I think it was at Eldora that one year that he wrecked the entire field on his way to a P2 finish or whatever that was.
Knoxville.
Good
Yeah.
Lord, that was awesome. Anyways,
So I had to look up the truck stats for Bobby P. He finished second at Eldora in the truck race to Christopher Bell.
Yep.
He won his qualifying race. Bobby Pierce won his qualifying race.
Won his heat race.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen to this list of drivers that won their heat race in 2016. That's the year that he pulled that off. Bobby Pierce, Tyler Reddick in the Brad Keselowski racing truck, Ken Schrader, J.R. Hefner, and Ben Rhodes.
Yep.
Won their heat races that year. Dude. Yep.
For real. So I didn't know. You learn a little bit more about some of these guys that when you do this little digging like this. RTJ is a little bit younger in his dirt super late model experience. But he's a guy you can't count out anywhere. He doesn't quite have the list of crown jewels to put to his name yet, but he's working on it. So RTJ, just anywhere you go, he can unload and he can dominate a race. So RTJ, and then last one, JD. 75 wins, 191 top 5s, and over 282 top 10s. He's a 3-time Lucas Oil champ, XR Super Series champ, 3-time National 100 winner, Show Me 100 winner, PDC, 3-time USA Nationals winner, 3-time Dream winner, 5-time World winner, 3-time Silver Crown winner, Eldora Million winner, 2021 Flow Racing Series champ. And Cam, you'll love this one, 2023 SRX winner at Lucas Oil. In one of the most epic races of all time.
So awesome.
So, Jonathan Davenport falls into this category as well. So there's my current drivers. Where's my last set of notes? Right here. Last one. Here's my asphalt super late model triage.
First off, the hat that Bickles got on.
It was the best picture I could find to fit where I was putting his face. It was the best picture I could find to fit the face I needed. All the other ones were together.
For those that are listening, you're going to have to watch the episode to see this one.
So, first one, Richie Bickle. Cam, he put him on your list. He's won the Slinger Nationals 4 times. He's won the Snowball Derby 5 times. He's a 2-time national short track champ, 2-time World Crown champ. He's won at Oktoberfest. He had a stint in NASCAR. He's got over 250 wins, and he has also written a book.
Mm-hmm.
He has a book on his racing life, career, travels. So I did not know that he wrote a book. So that was a new one to me. Number 2, Ty Majeski. Van Grohl, you've talked about it. 5-time Midwest Tour champ. He's got 36 wins. 2023 National Tour champ. He's won the World Series of Asphalt. He's won the Governor's Cup, the Snowball Derby, Oktoberfest, the Rattler 5 times. Did not know he was a Trans Am winner at Road America.
I forgot about that.
Also a 3-time Slinger National champ. So the list goes on and on. He won 4 straight Midwest Tour titles.
Yep.
So, third one, Andrew Pollard. Did not actually know his real name is Andrew. Cam, did you know that?
No, but I mean, it's like Daryl. It's like Daryl Wallace.
Yep.
It's
So basically, if your name is Bubba, you're a liar.
correct. His real name is Andrew, but Bubba Pollard. The list of super late model accomplishments. Let's look at the series. 4-time Blizzard Series champ, 2-time UARA national champ, Southern Super Series champ. He's won the World Series of Asphalt. And he also won the Miller Lite Series 4 times. Don't know what that is, but it was listed as 4 times. So impressive. And then when you look at the events, the Baby Rattler 5 times, the Rattler 3 times, 2-time Snowflake winner. He's won the Sheer, the Nationals, the All-Star, All-American 400, ASA Stars National Tour at Wilkesboro, the Clyde Hart Memorial at the ASA Stars National Tour, the Money in the Bank, the Red Eye, Speedfest, Oxford 250. I mean, the list goes on and on. And then the last one, Dick Trickle, Van Grols, you had mentioned him. He's won the World Crown, the Slinger Nationals, Oktoberfest, Governor's Cup, the National Short Track titles, a couple Red Buds, 4 World Series of Asphalt titles, and over 1,000 short track wins.
Yep. And
So-
also, I love that we used the same photo, that iconic photo with that cigarette sticking
Hanging
out.
Yep. So those were my Mount Rushmores.
I
So
love it.
all in told, I was keeping statistics. All in told, Cam and I had 9 matches. Gordon, Johnson, Dale Sr., Bickle, Trickle, Majeski, Shepard, Davenport, and Bloomer. All 3 of us had Trickle and Majeski.
Mm-hmm.
And then Van Grohl, our 2 matches were Majeski and Trickle.
Yep. Because then I went the other way on everything else.
Yeah, for sure. But no. Good conversation, good notes, good statistics, good.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have done something looking at yours. I feel like I should have done something a little bit more off the rails.
Well, we'll save that for next year. We'll do something a little off the rails next year.
But I'm surprised you didn't have an asphalt super on there. I'm not gonna lie to you for 1 second.
That I didn't?
Yep.
Well, if you want to get technical, I did with Mark Martin's race car.
True.
That
I
it
meant
was an asphalt super late model back in the day.
Yep. That's fair. But yeah,
You're talking about the current one, though.
the current car, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, close. It's very close.
The body style between that and the 2007 Cup car are obviously eerie similar.
Yep.
It's just the little bit of the horsepower, the suspension, and all that makes that super light model just phenomenal on the short tracks. 100%. I can agree with you on that, though.
Yep.
So here's a final question. Do you think out of some of those drivers, do you think we could narrow it down to a final 4?
Of all time? Oh, God.
Oh,
I don't think I'm up for that kind of debate right now.
that
over here.
I don't think I could do it.
No, that's tough.
Well,
I
there's
mean-
some overlap there. I mean, we can start with the overlap. Well, no, we couldn't because Kellen and I had the same exact. Not in the mood to get bit. So here
Well, we
go.
all had Trickle,
Yep. And we all had Majeski.
but I feel like Majeski would get kicked off based on other drivers and discussions.
Johnson, Jimmy Johnson.
Yep. Petty.
Petty, Earnhardt.
Earnhardt.
All right.
You see where we're going with this.
Yeah.
And we
Yep.
haven't even touched the dirt.
No. No.
So nope, that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
That
Yep,
was
I
good.
appreciate that. Any
Yes.
final knee jerk reactions? any big surprises, I will say, that you looked at that and you went, wow.
I kind of hate myself for not putting Bickle in the discussion. Like I didn't
Yeah,
even
come
try
on.
researching Bickle.
I'm an amateur on the
If
asphalt late model side, and even I threw Bickle on there
if I'm
twice.
gonna be honest, I'm kind of
Come on,
yep.
call yourself an asphalt super late model fan.
Ooh,
Didn't even put Richie Bickle on there.
those are fighting words.
Didn't. But
Kyle Larson, I'm gonna have to ponder on that one.
yeah, maybe isn't the right category for
I'm gonna
him.
have to sit and marinate on that one. Yeah.
I'll let you think on that for a day or two.
Yep. So no, I think they were good lists. Otherwise, we got some discussion out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We don't have anything else. Um, hey boys, we can hop into a segment that we've really been taking off about the last couple months, last month and a half, I'd say. We can hop into what's on the racing schedule coming up again. So
Yeah.
Finally back to it.
I don't know if anyone of you guys, which one of you guys wants to take that segment there.
I mean, I guess I've got it up, so I'll take a look at it here.
Yep.
Right in there.
Yeah, Wild West Shootout. Starting the Wild West Shootout stretch here at Vado. They'll have practice on the 3rd, which will be on Friday, and then they'll race the first little stretch on, Saturday, Sunday, with another practice day, then on Tuesday. That's
And
kind
then
of the
they
first
race.
little stretch.
Then they race through the following weekend.
Yep. So got a long stretch coming up here, and actually that will lead up into the Chili Bowl as well.
Yep. Can catch that on Flow Racing, I believe, correct?
Can do that. That is correct.
Bingo.
So, if in all honesty, you've got a lot of dirt racing coming up on Flow Racing for the next handful of weeks.
They overlap, like not overlap, they butt up to each other that you can watch dirt
Yep.
racing for 2 consecutive weeks every single night.
I think I think starting tomorrow, if I saw Flow's promotion right, I think it was 18 days.
Perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
So,
Got my cable TV fired up again finally.
there you go.
Flow Racing back to having irregularly scheduled programming.
Good way to put it.
Yep.
Yeah, we are getting back into some racing action. And we are getting ready to flip the calendars to 2025. And um, once we hit that, we are boy oh boy, we are just a few days away from the old Clash. So it will not be long before business is picking up here, and we're back into the swing of things with racing. So um, as we wrap this thing up here, you boys got any other final thoughts?
Yeah,
Oh boy.
working on having somebody on for next week. If you followed on Twitter, you probably picked up on it.
Yep.
But if you haven't, you have to do a little digging in the comments section. But I would say next week is probably going to be a dirt oriented episode for our dirt racing fans.
All right.
So got a little something in the pipeline for a part 2, one would say.
I might actually be able to join on this one.
Perfect. We're gonna need that. So yeah, might be having a guest on again next week. So stay tuned for
Stay
that.
tuned. Stay tuned. Again, if we don't have anything else, I think we'll be putting the old stones together here and getting some things lined up here for what's going to come down the pipeline as we kick off 2025 here, and some of the episodes here we're going to go back or bring to you guys, and so be on the lookout for that. I would think we're going to go in here potentially do an episode here after next week when we do some dirt. I think, coming down the pipeline might be just where's everybody at after the silly season, and new names, new faces, new teams. Just see where everybody's at. I think a fun episode maybe to revisit. We did earlier this year, but would be to do another report card episode.
Mhm.
We got some again, new names, new faces, and new teams, and so that would be fun to revisit. But you guys let the stones get turning for a little bit here. We will definitely be bringing you guys some more interesting content here as we flip the calendar to 2025. So, as always, don't be afraid to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell, because every time it rings, you're going to get some racing content. So, from the pit crew to you, we wish you guys a happy new year. Stay safe and burn it down on the last day of 2024. See y'all next week.